Why me? Why me? This is a question that everyone who is grieving asks themselves at one point or another. I know this phrase very, very well. If you have been watching my channel at all, you know my story. If not, I will recap it super quickly for you. But yeah, I'll paint this picture. My dad passed away from a heart attack. On the day of his funeral, my stepmom overdosed on pills and alcohol. About a month and a half after that, my mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And a month after that, I received the phone call that every parent dreads, telling me that my kids had been in a car accident and my 10-year-old daughter, Libby, didn't survive. If there is anyone who could ask themselves, why me? It is me. I had already lost my sister, my sister-in-law, my cousin, all of my grandparents. I was absolutely no stranger to grief, and all of these events occurred one right after the other. And all I kept thinking is, why me? Why does this keep happening to me? I felt like Helen Hunt in the movie Twister, which, side note, that's one of my all-time favorite movies. If you've ever seen it, let me know in the comments. But in that movie, Helen Hunt is talking about tornadoes, so it's a little bit different. But she says, you haven't seen it miss this house and miss that house and come after you.
This house and miss that house and come after you.
That is how I felt about grief. It was missing this person, missing that person, but always coming after me. If you can relate to this at all, stay tuned. It's what we're talking about today.
Hey there, if we haven't met, my name is Brooke from Grieving Mommy, and on my channel I share my journey through loss and grief after losing my 10-year-old daughter Libby in a car accident. I also help other people that are going through the grieving process.
When I first lost my daughter, after all of those griefs that I had already endured, I felt like life had it out for me. Like I was cursed. Why me became kind of this refrain in my mind that I kept repeating over and over. And it was totally fine in the beginning. Of course I was going to feel that way. Anyone would feel that way. I had friends saying to me, what the hell? Like, why does this keep happening to you? Like, I don't know. But I found that asking myself, like, why me over and over again just made me stuck in my grief. It didn't help at all, and eventually it started to hurt. So today I'm going to offer you 2 mindset shifts that I made that I'm hoping that if you're in the same situation, asking yourself the why me's about your loved one passing away, that hopefully these mindset shifts will help you as well. All right, so the first mindset shift is that I am a student of history. I'm a huge history nerd. Any time period, I have a history nerd sticker on my car. I have read more historical novels than I can count. And the one thing that I've learned over and over and over again from studying history is this: people die. A lot of people die. We are the first generation where people have really stopped talking about grief. It used to be a common occurrence. It used to be an everyday part of life.
Bring out your dead!
Now we kind of talk about it in hushed tones and it's hidden, and we don't talk about it in front of the kids. It is a very different mindset because it's not as common as it used to be. Disease, accidents, starvation, wars. I mean, death was always more common and more accepted than it is today. Honestly, we are the first generation where it's unusual that a mom isn't losing children before adulthood. I mean, if you look at history, women would have 6, 7, 8 children fully knowing that probably half of them wouldn't survive into adulthood. They lived with that knowledge. They lived through those losses. In all of the books that I've read, people are always dying either in childbirth or at childbirth, or they had the plague or smallpox or, freak farm accidents or a million other reasons.
Oh, there are a million ways to die in the West, Lynch.
But people talked about it. They lived with it. I mean, medicine obviously wasn't what it is today, so we don't experience the loss like people did back then. But one thought that keeps coming to me from all of this, because you're probably wondering what the heck this history lesson has to do with anything, and it's this: studying history has taught me that people survived. People lived through all of that loss and survived. I like to think about strong women in history, strong mothers who lost child after child, and what that must have felt like. But they kept going. They survived. If they were able to do it, then so can we. That's what I keep telling myself. So can I. I may live in a different time period, and I may live in a culture where I'm lucky enough not to see death every day. But the human spirit, whatever time period you're in, is essentially the same. The human spirit hasn't changed, and the human spirit is about going on. And that is what I hope to do. That's what I try to focus on with thinking about history. The second mindset shift that has really helped me keep going and avoid why me thinking actually comes from Lucy Hone. She is a very celebrated student and speaker on grief and resilience. She has a fabulous book. And in that book, she simply says, instead of why me, ask yourself, why not me? That's it. It's that simple. Why not me? If it's going to be someone, why shouldn't it be me? Why should it be someone else's 10-year-old daughter that gets in a car accident? Why should it be someone else's husband or wife that passes away too young? Instead of why me, why not me? Write that in the comments so that I know that you are with me. Why not me? The power of this phrase is that people are dying all over the world. Death is not personal. Millions of people are having heart attacks and getting cancer and dying in car accidents. There are people dying in the Ukraine and in third world countries because they don't have the right medicines, or they don't have enough food, or they don't have access to clean water. People get in accidents all the time. There are more people on the roads. There are more accidents. This shit is happening everywhere, all over the world. I am not alone in dealing with death. But you might think, and I thought this too, my daughter was so good. Like, she was so young and innocent and good. Why did it have to be her? And that's true. She was. But think about this. How many people do you know? And I am sure that most of you watching know someone like this. You have the person who did everything right. They ate the right foods. They exercised. They did meditation and yoga and shit like that. And they still ended up getting cancer or dying of a heart attack, even though they did all the right things. I'm sure we all know someone like that. And it just shows us that death is not personal. Bad things happen to good people. There is no rhyme or reason to it. It is not your fault. It is not their fault. It is just what it is. If it's not you, who else is it going to be? Why not me? I'm going to say that again so you really get it. Death is not personal. It is not missing this house and missing that house and coming after you. It's not coming for you. It's coming for everyone. It's just a matter of when it catches us. Depersonalizing death in this way, while it sounds kind of harsh and negative, it actually is so liberating. It frees you to take away the ownership, make it not about you, make it realize that it's not your fault, that it has nothing to do with you. I have learned this better than anyone, and I challenge you to try to change your mindset and maybe adopt some of these ideas and see if they can help you out with your grief as well. It's not easy, and you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Lord knows I still have pity parties for myself every now and then. I mean, who wouldn't? But knowing that death is impersonal and that so many people have gone before us and suffered worse fates and survived in the face of overwhelming grief, it makes it a little bit more tolerable, at least for me. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to hit the like button or subscribe. If you'd like more tips on coping with your grief, I'm going to leave a playlist up here that you can access with those videos with grief tips. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one at all, I'm going to leave a link in the description that will give you more information about that. And as always, love and hugs. Catch you guys later.